because I was listening to the situation with Diddy is coming down the pipeline that he got a lot of haters, and the people want to see him do a lot of time, and it's really sad because he put himself in his trick bag. I say that every time I do a podcast about the brother, but it's kind of messed up because he went through the trial, he beat it as far as the RICO and all that, and now the white folks want to put him in prison for mad months, and it's like even hearing that Cassie is down there trying to hurry up and get him locked up, she's mad, saying that he need to go down, and it's like, damn. So as much as I fuck with my boy Diddy, it's like you put yourself in a trick bag with these people, man, and they want to see you go down. Oh, but he worked hard to build a brand, but they want to take that shit from him. And I always said that the reason why he going through all this because they want to make sure he cannot pass that brand to his sons, where they'll be running the P Diddy brand after he is pushed to the side, which is what it is now. So without Diddy, it's no brand because he didn't pass it to his kids. They can carry it on, and that's really what they do in a dominant society. They, corporations, they pass the stuff down to the next generation. Excuse me. And that's how even the claim is that's how Donald Trump got his money because it was passed down from his father, who was supposed to be some kind of hotel rich billionaire kind of guy, a tycoon. So with P Diddy having this scenario happening for him, it's like he won't be able to carry his kids won't be able to carry the torch further than where it is for them right now. With his dad in jail, and he's considerably a pariah to the people around the world. So for Cassie and them to still be trying to get him locked up after he beat the case, or at least he only got found guilty for that little segment part of it. This just seems kind of foul. Oh, and yarning, I can't stop. But we expect Diddy to beat this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was gonna be home by now, but it don't look like they're gonna let him up out of there. He got a real messed up judge. You know what I'm saying? So, but his money, he will probably lose the money as far as time go because he hasn't built himself up any, any people to pass the company to or keep it going because you don't think about hip hop. It's real fickle and it moves real fast. So that means you have to be able to connect with the newer generation of people that's doing stuff so that you can actually continue to be successful. Excuse me. But if you sit locked up for a year, then you don't have time to be out there collecting new artists and connecting with them and making sure that you can see what they got going on. So I don't know if Diddy would probably look at his kids like they was too young at the time. So he may have looked at it like, well, my kids are too young, so I don't have time to really be trying to teach them about music and all that. This is my job because you can't see your demise. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about $300 million, and now that's going down the drain because these white people is on your back saying you did this stuff towards these girls, and they even saying Cassie trying to even her parents they saying is trying to keep him in jail to do more time, and it's like God damn, y'all relentless. Like what the fuck? So I'm asking y'all the question, the poll: do you think Diddy should go to prison? Because this is the prison section. This is the prison part of it. Now he's in jail. And so we all been seeing him gone for so long, you would assume he's actually not in prison. Or he actually is in prison, but yeah, he's actually not in prison. He's only in jail. And that's just a little segment that he's in. So you sit in jail for a year, and then supposedly he's supposed to walk out of the jail after this and just be like, okay, I'm free. He get to go home. But the way they're pushing, and now I think there's another allegation about somebody else saying something right now. They held these allegations all the way until they get up to his trial date, which I think is the third, so or the second or something. It's like about 2 or 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And then, but you know, I think his empire is gonna crumble because because nobody he's not gonna be able to get in the game and do shit. You know what I'm saying? Caleb, I appreciate that, bro. Uh, I think he's going to, the way he made his money was through music and through hooking up with other brands, large brands. Oh, excuse me. So Diddy hooked up with the Diageo, which is a liquor company. He hooked up with Revolt, which is ran by some other folks, and then you got those people. He was being the CEO of these brands, and he was being a marketing genius behind these brands, and he did a lot of work to build these brands. But ultimately, they pushed him out, and so now he's basically the Dame Dash of all of those particular industries that he was in. They don't. He's not at the top of those pots no more. So now he's just basically like this guy who got all this money, but it's going to lose because if you can't bring that money in. And remember, he gave a lot of his rights and he gave a lot of the rights and royalties of the music he was running back to the artist. So a lot of that shit he don't even own no more. And he could have did that because it wasn't a lot of equity left in those things. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how he keeps money going. If he stays in jail, he's gonna lose the money because that guy got like three, four mansions, and if he wasn't able to close those mansions deals and all that, then that means you still paying rent and bills to all those fucking places. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't think he should go to prison. Of course not. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it's 50-50 in the vote. So y'all take the poll. Do you think Diddy should go to prison? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he should go to prison because I think he already proved that he didn't do nothing. He was just dating those girls, showing them, girlfriend, boyfriend love. And the girls took this shit in some evil direction, and now they wanted him to go down. But that could happen in any relationship. You don't have to be a multimillionaire for a girl to get mad at you and hate you, or a relationship to go bad. You don't have to be fucking rich. Anybody can go through that. Everybody can go end up probably going through that if you fuck around and have a relationship at any point, because it's just how the dynamics play out. Everybody not in perfect relationships. It's just that's not how it go. So, but Diddy specifically, he's been pushed to go to jail behind the bad relationships. Because if you remember, they were saying he was caught up with, doing all this foul stuff to people who wanted to get in the industry. But then when it came to the trial, the only people who came out was his ex-girlfriends. So, and they had other people who was talking about what they saw and what they experienced, but they wasn't being manipulated or basically molested, for lack of better words, about him. It was just his girlfriends that he was got convicted for, and that's all really what count is the convictions. So they want bad time out of Diddy. They want 135 months, which I calculates to about 12 and a half years, which if he's already 54, you're talking about damn it 67, seven, whatever the fuck he'd be. He's like way up in the sky on the age. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they can't do him like that. He got $1 billion lawyers. He should be able to get the lawyers to make some kind of deal where he only do a year or two. But that's just guesstimation because he got a bogus judge too. The judge don't like him. The judge ain't on his side, so the judge could give him that time that he don't want to have. So it's just really a testament to, what I mean, being a billionaire, because I looked at it too like, damn, somebody could reach that level of money and then you still going to go to jail just like if you was in your neighborhood and you was selling drugs. If you was just in your neighborhood and you was robbing a bank with your friends and then you still end up going to prison. So it's like no matter what direction Diddy went in, and no matter how big he got, he still ended up going to jail, just like he would if he would have stayed in Harlem or that Mount. I think they call it. Well, I don't know what they call it out there. Mount Vernon, I think that's what they call it in New York, where he's from. So but being a person with that kind of money, I think he's. But imagine having 3 or 4 mansions, 3 or 4 boats. How you gonna manage that stuff? Right now, every single month go by, the money is going out to pay for those things. You know what I'm saying? Because excuse me, he didn't have enough time to liquidate everything and be like, okay, let's sell this, sell that, sell this, sell that. You know what I mean? You basically sitting in jail trying to sell everything from a jail phone that only give you, 30-minute calls and interruptions, with the people saying, hi, this is a jail call. So you don't have a lot of business you can do other than going through the lawyers and then paying them a fee to go dissolve all these things that you can't fix because you're trying to make sure money stay in your corner. You don't want the money to be run out in like a funnel. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really one of those crazy anomalies about, what I'm saying, being a celebrity and what all that entails, you know what I'm saying? So let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I appreciate y'all listening to this podcast real quick about Diddy and all that stuff. And I'll be back with y'all in another show real soon.